Welcome, friends, on the journey we are all taking together. Death. That's right. From the moment you were born, you began forcefully marching this path alongside the rest of humanity. All of us together are headed to the same destination.
Death.
The same destination.
Death.
The same destination.
Death. The same destiny.
Death. The same destination. Death.
The same destination.
Death.
The same destination.
The same destination.
Death.
More people have died in this world than have lived. Death. More people have died in this world than have lived. Death. Soon, more people will be dead on the internet than are alive. Death. Same destination. Death. Headed to the same destination. Death.
The same destination.
Death.
Death.
How does that make you feel, friends?
Sad.
Steve Jobs once wrote, "Remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool I've ever encountered." To help me make the big choices in life. Almost everything, all external expectations, all pride, all fear of embarrassment or failure, these things just fall away in the face of death, leaving only what is truly important. Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. You are already naked. There is no reason not to follow your heart. No one wants to die. Even people who want to go to heaven don't want to die to get there. And yet, death is the destination we all share. No one has ever escaped it. And that is how it should be. Because death is very likely the single best invention of life. It's life's change agent. It clears out the old to make way for the new. Death. It's a fascination with life that's at the root at our fascination with death. Do we live on in some sort of metaphysical way? Do we experience anything comparable to what we call consciousness? Death is only a man-made term after all. For some, a beginning, for some, an end, and for many, simply a state of disrepair when medicine gives up. Consciousness is something neither science nor philosophy can adequately define, and it takes a living being to experience. So, perhaps, someone who spent a short while medically dead is our best insight into the post-life. A man who died twice for about 2 minutes at a time, once from a motorcycle accident and once from an overdose of painkillers, gave an AMA on Reddit. Here is what he said.
I had no idea. It was just black emptiness. No thoughts, no consciousness, nothing. Both times I was just not there. It was just all black. I would describe it as when you take a nap, a short nap with no dream. You wake up and it feels like you've been sleeping a long time when in reality it's only been about 15 minutes. The only reason I know is because the doctors were obligated to share this information with me. So, yeah, you were dead for a couple of minutes, just FYI. That's what they said. So, if the doctors wouldn't have said anything, I would have just thought I took a dreamless nap.
When asked whether he really experienced black emptiness or if this was just somehow his memory filled with a blank,
It was definitely not just a gap, much like a dreamless nap. You don't just wake up and feel like time just jumped ahead. You know that you've been asleep for a while. At the same time, you can't really remember experiencing anything at all unless you had a dream. So, yes and no. I experienced something, and that something was nothing.
when speaking on the sensation of dying, the man said this.
The first time was right before the accident, and the only thing in my mind was, oh God. The second time I had no idea. I was in pain, and all of a sudden, there was nothing, just no life. Then I was awake and in pain again.
On whether the different causes of death yielded different experiences, his response was,
The two experiences were exactly the same. The only difference is that the accident one, I remember the seconds before a lot more clear. The second time I was in so much pain that I wasn't really fully aware of my surroundings, if you understand what I mean.
On other people's reports of near-death experiences, his answer was this.
I think that in their cases their minds were still active. What they experienced was just sort of a dream.
On being told he had died,
Well, my first reaction was, OMFG, that's cool. Now, I can tell my friends that I've been dead and come back to life, but most of those thoughts were the morphine talking. Then reality sets in, and I realized, wow, I could have been dead right now. That's when I started to understand how serious my situation was. I definitely fear it less. I know now that death is nothing worse than sleeping when you die. You just stop existing, nothing to worry about.
on religion in the afterlife,
I have always been an atheist, but I have always had a part of me that hoped there was a God or a heaven or something greater than us. I mean, who wouldn't want there to be a heaven? I am still an atheist, and now I know that there is no such thing as a God or a heaven, at least not for me. My reasoning behind that is no God would ever put a person in a family through such an experience. I am an atheist, and I always will be, but I believe that your belief is your belief. The only thing we can share is our own experiences and let people make up their own mind. People need to stop forcing their own beliefs onto others. On approaching death, he said, all I want to accomplish in life is to have fun and make people's lives better and as best as possible. No personal achievement will matter to me once I'm dead. The only thing that will live on after my death will be my impact on the people that are still alive. And hopefully, my impact will be positive. In summary, death is death. Once you're dead, that's it. It's over.
said the man who died twice. Well, there you have it, friends. One man's thoughts on death. His experiences twice on going to the nothingness hereafter. Yet, friends, what do you believe about the triangle? Does the triangle lead us to nothingness? Does the triangle lead us to a permanent death? Or does the triangle take in our souls to make it part of the bigger triangle? I leave this question up to you and wish to hear your answers below. Again, friends, thank you for joining the sacred cult of the triangle.
The triangle apologizes for interrupting your death. Please, continue dying.
Die. Death is near.